all new. AM 1150 WTMP.com.
All right, all right. The time has come. It's that time again, and I know we got some folks that been waiting for this. I know it's been a great day, a great Saturday, September the 7th here, and we've had great shows. I actually got to listen to a few of the shows.
Did you?
This morning for a change. I usually don't get a chance to listen because I got a meeting at 7. At 8 o'clock, and it usually go to like 10:30, and then from there I have to go get prepared for this show, and usually have tea and conversation, something like that that happens in between. Then I have to come do this show. But today I actually got a chance to listen, and
how'd you do?
And my wife was at home listening to some of these shows too. So not only while I was in the truck was I listening when I got to the house, and it's a good day. It's a good day. A lot of topics are talked about every Saturday. It's just that on Saturday at 1 o'clock, here at Porch Talk Radio, that
you mean the most listened to show on this radio station?
It changes a little, and today we got a different kind of show, than you heard about, because we're gonna talk about some things, and some of you've already heard. I'm just restating some of the stuff, but for the most part, we do a different type of show. Our focus is different, and we're gonna talk about how we make the community better and how we improve like businesses and do some of this other stuff. So anyway, let me go ahead and get the show started. I won't rant and ramble for 15 minutes before we start the show.
We got our sponsors, right?
I'm gonna go ahead and start the show.
There we go.
So
this is Porch Talk Radio, and we're on Facebook, and also PorchTalkRadio.com. Come find us, folks. Like us. We promise we might like you.
Okay, let's do this. Okay. Oh, also, I do have folks who call during the week.
Oh boy, here we
go. And
go.
I do get calls, and I don't know whether he's telling me the truth or not, but I was talking with one of the gentlemen who calls me, off the air, and he was saying, he was 61 years old, and he said somehow he thought I was like 33. And then I say, no, sir, I'm not 33. I am 65. I'm actually older than you are. He said, oh, you sound so young on the radio. So I don't know if he was pulling my chain or what the deal was, but, for all those who don't know, I am an old man. Now.
And I can testify.
Now, I've been, now let me give you the other part of the story.
Oh, boy, come on now.
In January, I weighed 256 pounds.
Solid.
I now, it wasn't solid, but I got on the scale this morning. I weighed 205.
Wow.
Now I've been down to 200. My goal is to get down to 195. So
I've been there.
195, 190. And I haven't weighed that since I was in high school. So that's where I'm going.
Excellent.
So I'm actually slimming up a little bit, slimming down. I'm not as active as I used to be, but I'm getting more active. So
good for you.
So got more energy.
I did a 10-mile bike ride this morning before I came in here. You gotta keep at it.
Doing all the good stuff. Between all the running around that I do and some of the other stuff that I do, it's going. Yeah, I do eat. Now what I don't do is I don't eat as much sugar and as much starch and as much of that other stuff. And
literally.
And I do a fruit smoothie, most mornings. I don't do it every morning, but I take some bananas and strawberries and blackberries.
Oh, it's looking great on you, huh?
Stuff like
That's
that.
good.
And put it in a blender and drink it. So
taking care of yourself.
So for those who ask me what I'm doing, and I've had a few people ask me, that's what I do. So I don't do. I used to have a sugar. My sugar at one time was 300 and something. For you folks who know what's going on. I went to the doctor, and he said you're urinating, more sugar than most people take in.
Okay,
I'm passing out. So anyway, I did my sugar this morning, and it was 85, and it's been under 100 for the last several months. So that's a good thing. Now that don't that don't not state that I'm taking a bunch of pills now that I wasn't taking before, but that's okay. You know, that's the whole idea. That's how you get better.
Well, if there's supplements, you're
and,
good.
And you get over it. And,
If it's medicine, well, you got to get better.
And you do better. So.
And your weight's going to help a lot.
So anyway.
Moving on.
Porch Talk Radio. Welcome.
Done chasing bunnies.
Thank you for listening. The call in, if you want to call in during the show, the call in number is 813-251-9867. 813-251-9867. If you want to call me, you know, during the week after the show is over with, you want to call me on my cell phone. My cell phone number is 813-230-3312. 813-230-3312. You want to email me? Email me at Eddie, E-D-D-I-E, at porchtalkradio.com. So
email Eddie and he will respond. Email me and whatever.
And you can email Gabriel, you can email Tim,
Tim will respond.
at porchtalkradio.com also. Just put Eddie, put Gabriel, put Tim, and it'll get to us.
That goes to an email, doesn't it, Tim?
At the website.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah. So, okay. So, sponsors. I wanted to just say one thing before we get to the sponsors. Next, you know, and you guys can give me input. You can call in during the show or after the show or something. You know, come up with an idea for something we can do to celebrate. Cause on the 19th of September, we will be here at TMP for 3 years. So that's like our 3-year anniversary. September the 19th.
And we're still the top show again.
So September the 19th, 2016 is when we started here at TMP. Now we started January the 15th, you know, at GUL, which was 2010. So, you know, we almost got, you know, 10 years on the air. You know, TMP, we've been here for 3 years. So you know, that's a good thing. That proves longevity. And part of this whole process has to do with sponsors. So how we kind of hang around and do this thing, you know, is we have sponsors. We have great sponsors. So starting with Todd Jones, property appraiser. Todd Jones is a great guy. Kind of ran for a property appraiser several years ago. Kind of got hooked up with us, and we kind of been, you know, perfect fit. He's a great guy, and if you ever need any property appraising done or something like that, you know,
good man.
Contact
Been
Todd
solid.
Jones. JA Pressure Washing, residential and commercial, now doing roofs. So if you need your roof done, you know, pressure washing, and I didn't know that was a big thing, but a lot of people now getting their roofs done. So that's an issue. So call 813-850-6849. 813-850-6849. Pressure washing, commercial, residential. Tell Joseph Eddie sent you. Hillsborough County Republican Executive Committee. Those are the guys who got us started, even back in the day.
Thank you, Jim.
You know, they got us started here at TMP, and
they've hung on.
And they was part of it way back when we was at GUL. So,
they want that message going out into the urban community.
Well, we are a lighthouse. You know, searchlight into the wilderness.
A beacon.
You know,
there you go. We're a beacon.
You know, we're sending the message out there, and not everybody gets it, but not everybody's supposed to get it. So,
we pray for them.
So we understand that. And last but not least, John Desbrow over at PrintFast. He has a car lot, good guy, car lot, sell cars. But any of your printing needs, you know, give John a call, 813-621-9444. 813-621-9444. So, my good friend Candy Lowe came to my Temple Terrace Republican Club meeting last week to talk about her Black Business Bus Tour, which is going off here in a couple of weeks. And a lot of folks there didn't know I knew Candy Lowe, but it's not many people in the Tampa Bay area that's making stuff happening or doing stuff that I really don't know. And if I don't know them, they probably know me. So that's making a statement. But part of the conversation that we had, and this is kind of how we're going to start the show off today. And I have here the terror within. You know, one of the guys, one of the ex-Temple Terrace city council persons was talking about guns and banning guns and gun laws and the issue has not been, and really is not, and a lot of folks may disagree, but it's not guns. Guns have been around for a pretty damn long time.
Actually, we have more and more incidents happening in the state of America, or in the country of America, with hammers being used more as a weapon, pistols, and then ARs down at the bottom of the list. So the fact they want to go after an assault weapon, which if you look it up in the dictionary, folks, what is it? It's anything. A hammer can be an assault weapon.
There's no such thing as an assault gun. AR actually is the initials of the person who invented that particular gun. So AR.
And this is educating everybody right now.
Not,
we're educating you.
It's not talking about somebody, officially the AR is an assault weapon. No, that's the initial of the man who invented that rifle. And the issue becomes, primarily a question of who, what, where, why, and when do this stuff happen. And one of the things that the guy said, and the folks in my meeting kind of responded to, was mental health. And I said,
big time.
I said,
big time.
I said right front, mental health is getting a bad rap. It is not mental health. If somebody sits in their mama's basement, in their bedroom, and plans to shoot and kill and murder people for 2 damn months, and then go do it.
It's premeditated. You're right about that.
And then go do it. That is not mental health.
Mental illness is what they're trying to tag it under.
It is not. I mean, people, the society is looking for an excuse to account and see. And again, folks, we're not politically correct. So I'm gonna say black and white. A lot of these young white kids, and if you look at who's killing folks, they're between 15 and 35.
And it's a mix.
35.
White, black.
Nope. These are white folks. These are young white kids. Like I said, we ain't painting it, some color tonight.
But if you looked at who's done out of the last 5 shootings, there's been a black one in there. There's been 2 of them actually.
No. They got shot. They wasn't doing.
No,
the shooting.
they were shooting. That's why the media got quiet on it. If it's not a white man doing the damage, they don't want to talk about it.
But I'm going to talk about the white man. Okay,
right.
Well, let's do it. I mean, if you want to make me, say what I'm trying to say,
No, you say what you're going to say. That's how we work here.
These are white folks who sit in a room and sulk about something that somebody did to them, sulk about something that somebody said to them online, and at the end of the day, they can afford, their daddy, their mama, their uncle, their cousin, somebody got a gun, got several guns. Matter of fact, if you went out and looked at, how many guns some of these people got, some of these people got hundreds of guns. I'm just saying, all these people are not bad people. What they don't have is morals. They don't have a sense of value for life and death. What they don't have is they don't have God in their life. I'm just saying, because, for me to think about killing someone, you got to have done something to me or somebody in my family. And you got to personalize this thing, because I couldn't just go kill someone, shoot someone, destroy someone's life who hasn't done something to me personally. I mean, these people are actually seeking innocent people to kill. I mean, you gotta have had some kind of demon, and I'm gonna say it like this, demonistic something. In your
but the
moral
secular world doesn't
fiber,
see that.
In your
They
moral,
just see it's going to call it mental illness.
I'm telling you that's a cop out. That's a rationalization of somebody trying to make an excuse for something that that no regular way of explaining it happens. And I'm saying and I'm not saying that the church, and I'm not saying that there's not any religious fight, but there used to be a time when it mattered. and people cared about people. You don't, you know, a lot of these young kids nowadays, and I'm telling you, these are not 60, 70, 80-year-old folks who ain't got nothing to live for that going out killing folks. These are young folks who got the whole world in front of them, but they don't know it. And they don't understand, you know, why it is that why they so mad at everything and everybody, and a lot of them ain't never had a girlfriend, you know, a boyfriend or whatever, you know, your taste of the day may be. You know, and, you know, that becomes an issue too. You know, part of it is that they're living unreal life, and because it's unreal, it's a fantasy world. You know, they're so used to playing video games and doing some of these other things online that really don't involve humanization. It don't involve other real people. It's a fantasy, and therefore they can dehumanize and devalue real life. And so when they go
what's a fix, Eddie?
When they go out there in the street and deal with people, you know, they've already built this hatred up. I mean, now what's funny to me is now the Muslims back in over when you hear and see, you know, because some of it is on video, you know, they have suicide vests. They wearing the bomb. They got the bomb on, so I'm gonna hurt some other people, but I'm gonna go with them. You know, I'm gonna tell you, these American, you know, young white kids, they cowards. Because, you know, they got vests on, you know, they got bulletproof vests on. They got, you know, some of them.
They ain't fully sold out to what they're getting ready to do.
Well, no, they don't mind killing
you being
they
sold out.
don't mind killing you,
But they ain't sold out.
But they don't want to die.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, somewhere in there, you know, they got some self-value about, you know, now they more often than not in the future, they probably gonna get more of them killed, because I kind of see the trend now that more and more of those guys are getting shot. Matter of fact, they're not just getting shot by the police. They're getting shot by other folks with guns.
Law-abiding citizens.
You know, as more and more people carry guns, you know, more and more people standing up defending the ones who don't have guns. So
because, Eddie, you know how many of those shootings that have happened this last year alone? If we just looked at 2019 alone, do you know how many of those were NRA members that did the shooting? None.
Well, but again, it ain't the NRA just the force that deals with it on a regular basis. You know, it don't have to be NRA members, you know, who have guns.
But none of the shootings that have ever been occurred have happened by an NRA member.
Who cares about the NRA?
California cares. California said they call them a terrorist organization.
But folks in California are crazy. Everybody.
Okay, well, all right, then we got it.
The rest of the
California
50,
people crazy.
You know, all the rest of the 49 states understand. You know, you don't use California
as
a reference for anything.
They're crazy.
For anything. For anything. You know, California. As a matter of fact, most of the folks in California are leaving California. You know,
they're tired of it. But unfortunately, they're going to bring in voting habits here.
Well,
that's sad.
Well, they may want to, but we won't let them, because
that's a messed up California.
You know, well, Florida's a bad enough state, so I can't, you know, jump on California, because Florida got its own problem. But one of them is not, you know, that everybody in the country understands that there are certain things here, and we had our own shootings. So we got folks, we got some crazy young folks, you know, here in Florida who decided. As a matter of fact, we got a couple of them. We had the Post, we had the school down in South Florida, and hell, we just had some kids took some guns to school this week. So, you know, they didn't shoot nobody, but you know, they had the guns at school, which to me is insane nowadays. I don't care how, who, where you been, unless you was on a rock somewhere on another planet, you know, for you to take a gun to school and expect to get away with it. And first of all, you go to school with a gun, and you're going to interact with other students, and they know you got a gun. So maybe you don't give a crap, but some of these other kids are scared.
But now,
you know, they shut down the whole school.
You went a little deep on this, on why, and you said probably because they don't have Jesus in their life. Initially, that's why they're all going doing all this crazy stuff. But how many of us today, I know for you and the three of us here, pretty much, well, not me, but grew up with a dad in the house, say, no, that's wrong, that's stupid. And yet the moms did a great job on us, because I know you didn't have a dad.
Well, my dad left when I was 6.
Yeah.
I didn't see him again
until
I was 16.
So we're here to tell you the difference, everybody. Listen, it doesn't matter if there's a dad in the house or not. If there's a woman in the house that knows who God is, I'll tell you what.
Well, what I think is deeper than that, because 'cause they got some of these white kids who got fathers in the house, and they still SOBs. So and they still shooting, killing folks.
But it's not just white. That's any color.
No. I'm talking about the terrorist part of it. These folks who are terrorizing people.
So only white people terrorize.
Well, right now they're terrorizing. The ones that's shooting and killing folks. Right now these are young folks who are not black. The black folks killing each other. That's our problem. Our problem is.
But the media don't care about that. That don't matter to them.
Well, in Chicago,
they don't care about that.
weekend,
They just humans,
20,
just bodies.
20, 30 folks, that black
The
get
media
shot
accepts
by
that, and they're okay with that.
folks who are black. For 20 years.
Oh, wait a minute. Obama's from there.
It's been happening.
Well, you help them a lot.
And this is not Obama's issue. This is not Obama's problem. Again,
Maybe
I'm not trying to rationalize, and I'm not trying to put it on somebody else. I'm just telling you what happened. And I'm not here to blame anybody. I'm just saying, the facts are the facts. At this point in this process, that these folks sit around in their basements, and they sit around, in their rooms with the doors closed, online, talking to their friends and their buddies. And it's not so much the KKK. It ain't even, the racist folks. These are just regular, kids who got issues and problems, and it's not all mental, because again.
But what's the fix? There's no fix.
Well, there's no fix. I mean, God is the fix. How did the church get involved? You can't make people holy if they're not holy.
Yeah.
But there's issues that the church could have tackled, got more involved with, along the way, and again,
Don't offend.
Well, that's for money. It's all about money. Everything at the end of the day always turns around and shows up some kind of way in financial rewards or financial penalties, and that's how they control us. But again, these people, and it's not a mental health problem. I am saying that these guys sit around, and either the loners, they either by themselves, or they with a clique of people, or they online. And for me to take a gun, that guy in Las Vegas, he took a military rifle, stapled it, gunned it, nailed that thing
and nobody noticed a thing.
Nailed that thing to the floor, and shot out the window.
And nobody saw a thing.
With one of them guns you have on the back of a Jeep, and one of them guns you have on the back of a tank, and shot people with it. I am just saying, that kind of random, lack of humanity is not just a product of being crazy. Because, those people are crazy like a fox. I mean, it took a lot of planning, to get that in that hotel room, get that just set up, get that concert, going. You got to have some cash, you got to have some money, and to have ammunition. I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you guys went out and bought ammunition recently. Even if you go to Walmart, it's expensive, to buy a couple of 100 rounds of bullets. It's not cheap. It's not a venture. That's probably why more black folks ain't done it. It's not cheap. If you're gonna kill a whole bunch of people, you have a bunch of bullets. Have 4 or 5 guns, and a couple of semi-automatic, automatic rifle, and all that kind of stuff. You're talking about a couple $1,000. That may be one of the reasons why more black folks ain't done it, because it's expensive. And at the end of the day, unless you want to go meet your maker, suicide by cop, black folks have figured out how to do suicide by cop. We good at that. So, and we don't have to kill a bunch of other folks to do it. Right. It's kind of happened. It's kind of, oh, he got a gun. Oh, is he black? Yeah, okay, we'll be right there. Boom. It's all over. Problem solved. That's the nature of it. And again, some people are laughing. It may be funny, but it is the truth. And that's kind of what our problem is here. We're speakers of information, and we put the truth out there, and then part of it you take, and part of it you won't take.
Again, it's America. They make a choice. They can listen. They can respond one way or the other. And Eddie's just saying, basically, after all you've been saying here, the bottom line is, folks, there's got to be kids in your neighborhood. You can get involved. You can help out. You can go ask the single mom trying to make a living with it. Hey, can we take your kid out to church? Can we take your kid out for an ice cream or something? Just talk to these kids, because really, you can't beat them over the head with the Bible. That never works. But if you can just talk to them, because Eddie's talking about these kids just kind of pull off to themselves. They hide, in their bedrooms. They got their cell phones glued to their face. They can't see past that, and that's it. And nobody. And if the mom wants to communicate to them in the house, they'll text them. That is crazy. Now, how about just some of you men folk going out and saying, you know what, we got kids in our neighborhood. Let's put them together for a game, a basketball or something. Let's just cook out some hot dogs and talk to them. This is how you do it. You got to break that cycle. These kids want to be out there on their own, trying to do their own thing. And if they don't have anybody to talk to, they got their cell phone, which probably has other wacky friends on there with them, that they're passing back and forth the same dumb ideas. Suddenly they have an adult suddenly pop in their world. A man that says, hey, that's right, hey, that's wrong. Well, now they got something different to hear and think about and go, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should do something different. Maybe I should just drop that altogether. Maybe I should stop talking to that bad friend that has a gun that's talking about doing something at school. Yeah. One of you could be that voice of reasoning to one of these kids, and suddenly lives are saved. Why can't you do that?
Yeah. Well, let me change the topic a little bit. Let's do this. A lot of you folks know, and some of you guys may not know, but in 2020, that's January 2020, the Super Bowl is going to be in Miami, Florida. I haven't mentioned that in a couple of weeks, and I was reminded this morning. There's
going to be some money down there.
At one of my meetings,
a lot of money to buy, get stuff.
They got a committee here in Tampa because in 2021, Super Bowl going to be right here in Tampa, Florida. And for the black business owners and the black entrepreneurs and the folks who have a van or a car or a taxi, I don't care if you got a smart car, if you could put somebody in it and carry them around, if you got extra room in your house, if you got what they used to call grandmamas or mother-in-law quarters in the garage over the garage, just next to the garage or somewhere like that. That all could be turned into cash. Mm-hmm. And what I would like to see, and I don't know if you guys are folks who with information, but we need to have some kind of group here in Tampa that kind of communicates with the group down in Miami, because there's a lot of black businesses down in Miami that's going to be doing a Super Bowl here in 6 months, and they're going to be doing a Super Bowl. And they're gonna make some mistakes, and they're gonna do some things right, and they're gonna do some stuff wrong, But again, if we got some feedback, if we got somebody who's talking to those folks, we can get that information fresh off the press. Mm-hmm. In 6 months it's gonna be available, and that's a whole year, before we get to do the same thing here in Tampa Bay, mm-hmm. and that's right down in Miami. I mean, that's 200 miles away. You got a Super Bowl, and the next year you got the Super Bowl right here in Tampa Bay. So I can't see the opportunity, somebody not taking advantage of it, or either somebody from Tampa Bay going down to Miami. I mean, it's not, again, go take a weekend, go take a week, go down there and try out your ideas down in Miami, and then bring them back up here, and,
refine it and make more money.
That give you a whole year to do what it takes to do it. Because, all the estimates, everybody that I talk to saying, it's a half a billion dollars that's gonna happen, if not $1 billion. It depends on who's doing the estimate. It's gonna impact on Miami-Dade. Mm-hmm. If you think about Super Bowl, show up, 2 weeks, people from all over the world with pockets full of money. That's
walking cash registers.
That's willing to buy anything.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
And a lot of them come and don't go to the game. All right, we got a caller here. Welcome to Porch Talk Radio this Saturday morning. I know it's been a lot of call-in shows, and you got a lot of calls, but we kind of sit here and ramble, so we kind of like Rush Limbaugh. So welcome. Who are you? Where you calling from? What you got to say? Bring it on.
This is Joe from West Tampa, man. Let me explain something to you.
Hey, Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Okay, yeah, listen to me. The NAACP and Economic Development Chair, Second Vice President of the I've taken on to move forward with the Super Bowl and find out why minorities ain't. Like, I was involved with the Super Bowl in 2009 with the task force. Super Bowl has a minority component, okay? They have a minority component. I got all the paperwork. I'm already got to the council right now, starting to look at setting up quarterly quarterly meetings with the task force of the minority piece called Emerging Partnership of the NFL. They have to go in and spend money with minorities. That's a fact. It's just that nobody pushed the issue. They just came up with what I call the white task force. They got Deb Brooks on it and so forth. But that ain't the task force I'm talking about. There's a task force for minority emerging businesses is what it's called. And I got the paperwork from 2009. City Council made a motion back then, Linda Saul and John Dangsfelder, and I've been talking to Grooves about him and Dangsfelder about trying to move forward to have the task force come in and report quarterly on what the goals of minority businesses are, how they going to use them, and how they did the last time. So we had it in 2009. I don't know if you around there, but at the stadium we had 1,000 people show up to find out. So the NFL, the way they work, they have their main contractors and their vendors. They're not going to get anybody else to be a main contractor vendor. But everybody else, so they've been dealing with those people for years and years. What they do is they have all of their vendors show up, the primes, and they have all the, anybody want to do some sub work, like NFL experience, building that, electrical building that, putting up this, vendors, this, and that, and everything. And you find everything out, everything open. Now, we done that in 2009. It was about, we said it was only about $2 or $3 million that anybody minority or black got. So this time we're going to try to increase it because why? Because it's a different era. It's 10 years later, and we're tracking it a hell of a lot sooner. So I'll go around telling everybody at their radio land, I'm working on Super Bowl, and everybody know my reputation. I don't play with people. I just sue you, get the FBI on you, go sing you to Jesus. I don't have time for the nonsense. So we're going to get that going, Eddie. And I did say that if you ever keep doing it, you want to do your directory, I can send you the directory we did in 2006 and 2005 and 4 with James Evans, God bless the dead, when we did that book for the African American Business Directory. And, you know, I tried to do one with the Republicans back in 2012, and they changed the people that was in charge and said, oh, we ain't going to do that. And that would have been the best thing Republicans could have did, is had all 50 states with a page in it to support African American Business Directory. We're trying to create the Republican Party in 2012, and that's why I left. I just want that for the record. So with that said, anything I can do to help you with that African American Business Directory, and as far as the Super Bowl, the NAACP Economic Development Check telling you we're working on it right now. Just started 48 hours ago once we waited for the task force committee, the white committee to get done, and we're going to stay on top of it. Anything else we need to do for y'all today?
Joe,
have a nice day. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Joe. One of the things that we had a conversation this morning, Saturday morning breakfast group, and that was one of the issues, one of the topics came up. You know, do we have anybody here locally that's following what's happening in Miami? Because that's an opportunity that, you know, no matter what we're doing, we could be reinventing the wheel. It's something that they are doing and keeping up with the money. Because, you know, I've like several people how much money have black folks made, you know, over the 4 or 5 Super Bowls that's been in Tampa Bay, and nobody can tell me. The first couple was like pretty much zero. You know, we kind of got a little better, but we're still not cashing in the way we could. And so, is there any group here, anybody that you know that's gonna follow what's happening in Miami, so we can learn from that?
There we go.
Oh, okay, Joe's not there. So anybody that has that information, if they know of some group or some organization here in Tampa Bay that's following Super Bowl and the planning and what's going to happen, because if you start following the Super Bowl in Miami, if you start following that now, in January or February, you know, that week of Super Bowl, which is 2 weeks in the January, February, when they actually have the Super Bowl, that comes to a conclusion. You actually have the game, the results, you know, opportunity to do the follow up and make a report, you know, and say, okay, this is what we did good, this is what we did bad, this is an analysis. You know, the next Super Bowl can learn from us, and again, just happen the next Super Bowl going to be here in Tampa Bay, so they could come up with some ideas of things to do. And use that as your proving ground. If you want to go to Miami for a week and two and do some stuff down in Miami at the Super Bowl, you know, that's an opportunity. You just got to contact the folks down in Miami that's running things and people within the community down there. And they have a larger black community than we do. Miami-Dade has a larger black business community than we do here in Tampa Bay. So there's definitely opportunity there to go partner up You know, that's something I haven't heard anybody here say, you know, about partnering with folks down in Miami and have them come up here and partner with us next year. So, you know, that's an opportunity there too. So I'm kind of looking at some stuff. And Joe, if possible, if you could, email, text, you know, whatever way you want, you know, make it available for us to get that directory that you already got. Because we got folks who are volunteering, doing the input. And like I say, we're going to give ourselves to the end of October to get that directory up and running and then get it out there to folks so it's available as a ways to make black businesses more profitable. Because again, you know, a lot of folks just don't know. And there is an organization out of Atlanta that's been functioning, and it's called We Buy Black. So it's no reason we can't do We Buy Black Tampa-Bay. You know, get some yard signs, get some T-shirts, you know, and make it so that folks who are not out there can see, you know, black businesses, proud black businesses, you know, businesses that they may not know is 51% owned by somebody black male, black female. 51%. So that's part of what we're trying to do. We're gonna make it so that by the time the Super Bowl get here, we already got a few more black millionaires, maybe not billionaires, but on the road to being billionaires, because we can do that within our own community. And if we learn to work together, if we learn to put our heads and put our minds together, we got some legislators, government elected, you know, black folks who are on the ball. I mean, I'm just looking at, you know, what's happened since we had the election here in Tampa Bay between, you know, with Diane Hard, Orlando Goulds, you know, being new folks coming to the forefront of community leadership, and they're doing a good job. I've seen more community focused events and policies and things happening, you know, that I have in some time, probably in, you know, 10, 20 years, because the nature of Diane Hart and the nature of Orlando Gould is different from the folks we've elected in the past. And I'm going to say Darryl Rousson is one of those kind of people too. And Darryl's been there for a while, but he just didn't have the power, you know, that now we got more of a community support. So if they come up with some good ideas, you know, we got people within the community that's making stuff happen, you know, like Candy Lowe and Connie Burden and Yvette Lewis and some other folks out there, you know, that you get in contact with some of these groups, some of these organizations, you know, where you may have not had the force or the voice of the community before. You can put some powers that be, you know, behind whatever it is you're saying, and you already elected, so that means you get a bully pulpit every week or every month or every so often when you get a chance to go before city council or county commission, you know, or the state legislature and come up with some stuff and have it community focused. The community is listening. The community is watching. It's different now than it used to be. I'm telling you, I've seen it. And if you have something and you need Orlando Goulds there, you call Orlando Goulds of his campaign, you call his office down at city council, he gonna show up or he gonna get somebody to show up. He will listen. I would tell you that from day one. That's something he told me. I will listen, Eddie. And so I'm seeing it. He's showing up within the community. He's not one of those politicians that's hiding. You know, get elected. You see him again next election cycle. He's doing stuff. Diane Hard, you know, bless her little heart, baby. She's working her ass off. I'm telling you, she's doing some stuff. And Diane Hard, you know, I was on another show on TMP, and Diane Hard called in one day and said, "I come down there and fight you." So
that's good to be active like that.
But we're good friends, and I love her, and hopefully she loves me. And if it's something
yeah.
you know, I can't say, you
Just
know,
pray for her.
but you know, we are diametrically, you know, at opposite ends of the arena when it comes to political ideas and stuff. But when it comes to moving this community forward, you know,
that's what counts.
We're all on the same page.
Pull them together, and I think that's why you managed to pull out, Eddie, the ones that are actually have the political title of something in the council down there that are really involved. We give a shoot about being involved, coming out to the meetings, participating, listening to the people. A lot of times, and we know our share of them, that'll give you the talk, and then when it's time that they get the office, suddenly they're too busy to see you. They don't have time. They don't want to see you.
Their
They
phone
won't.
don't work.
Yeah, they got all these things, but they're making a nice check, and they're your employee, and suddenly you don't have control over your employee except next election cycle, kick them out. Get the next one in. Let's try somebody else.
Well, that's something that's different. And while we're talking politics here, I posted something to my face page, this morning because I just saw it. A good friend of mine, Sally Harris, is running for school board. So we got some good people, some good conservative
Great
people.
lady.
That's showing back up on the political
Common
cycle.
sense people. That's good.
They've been away, had chance to do an analysis.
Get a rest maybe.
What they did right, what they did wrong, and
When's that coming up?
Next year. Next year, November, they got another election. That's the same one when Trump will be running again. All these folks who are running for stuff. Now, let me say something. In Pinellas, there's an election this year in which they got folks over there in the black community in Pinellas that are doing some stuff, and kind of like it is here in Hillsborough, they got one black here, one black there, and they kind of spotted all over the place. But they got some folks that are dealing with some issues. Because I was reading about one young lady who's going to do something about Jordan Park. Jordan Park is kind of like the project over there, and she's concerned that some of the seniors have been moved out, and the black seniors have been moved out, and they're now in the process of reconditioning it, renovating it, and then what they're gonna do somehow is they're gonna get some white seniors to move into Jordan Park. So I think that's a bad idea, but again that's racist, and I hate to tell folks on certain issues I'm a racist. So I'm not afraid to say I'm a racist because they've changed the meaning of the word. It used to be a time racist meant folks like the Ku Klux Klan. Now it just means
Anybody that opposes somebody.
Anybody who has an idea different from yours.
That's right. They're racist.
Is now racist.
That's stupidity.
I'm just kind of learning from the press and from the media. So,
and they're
so
great
if I disagree, or you disagree, somehow nowadays you're a racist. I'm telling you, I own nothing that anybody could come and make us stink about. I don't have any employees. Racists usually. Used to imply that you had power over people, and being a racist costs somebody something. You got to hire or fire, folks, and you make a big stink about stuff. But now, most black folks can be racist, but what the heck? It don't matter because you ain't got nothing. It ain't like
if you don't have the influence,
job.
and you're talking about the influence, if you don't have that influence to be able to tell people you come, you go. And again, people misunderstand the word racism, and that if you think differently than me, Eddie, that's okay. We live in a country where you can have your piece and say it, and okay, that's all good, and I can do the same. But I don't go away from the conversation hating you, suddenly wanting to kill you. I go, well, that's all right. That's what he thinks. If that works for Eddie, that's great.
Well,
and I'm done with it.
You can have differences of opinion, but see when the Democrats, and I'm gonna say Democrats, and I'm gonna say liberals.
Well, the hateful ones right now in power are nasty.
Now when they disagree with you, they're gonna immediately, if they have no more intellectual conversation, they're gonna start calling names. It goes there.
And we got a lot of good Democrats that listen to our show that I know are looking at that party going, "That's not what I signed up for." To be hateful and mean, and just everything you were told not to be as a child growing up. The current political party, Democratic Party, has become everything you were told not to be when you were a kid because your mama knew better and she had common sense.
And their stance on God, their stance on religion.
Oh my God, it's in a ditch. It's horrible.
On abortion.
It's horrible.
And again, I understand that they got some folks who are good thinkers. They think well.
Oh, they got smart people in it.
They mean well.
Well, I don't know about all that, but they got smart people in it.
But at the end of the day, you got to do a considerable, serious analysis. And I have a lot of friends who are now independent. Okay, well, let me go ahead and get on this day in. So on this day, and sorry about that. Welcome all calls. We only got about 5 minutes. Porch Talk Radio on this day, September the 7th. Is one of those days in history that on September the 7th, 1813, the nickname Uncle Sam. Remember the old nickname 1813, the nickname Uncle Sam was first used as a symbolic reference to the United States of America. The reference appeared in an editorial in the New York Troy Post. That's how long ago that was. It wasn't the New York Times or anything. It was the New York Troy Post. On this day, September the 7th, in 1963, the National Professional Football Hall of Fame was dedicated in Canton, Ohio. And if folks remember, we had the AFL and the NFL back in those days. So that's why it wasn't the the National Football League. It was the Professional League because they had more than one league. Also, September the 7th, 1984, American Express Company issued its the first of those platinum charge cards. So back in 1984. And last but not least, September the 7th, 1986, Desmond Tutu.
Well, that's I hadn't heard that in a long time.
Was the first black to be installed as a lead of the Anglican Church in Southern Africa.
That's a long time. How long ago?
That was in 1986.
My goodness.
September the 7th.
That's
So what I was going to do was talk about, the Zion Cemetery, but we don't have much time to talk about that. And I know a bunch of folks have talked about it already today and what's happening, with that plot of ground and the fact that the Tampa Housing Authority, I had a conversation with Leroy Moore, and they're going to do the best for the people that's in the ground. From what I gathered, they're doing the right thing. They got an anthropologist, to do the study. They're gonna take those buildings down that's set on graves of folks and do the right thing. I mean, that's one of the things that everybody get a feeling about. What's the right thing? How do you respect folks who are dead and gone? How do you respect folks who are in the ground? And those are the people who are in caskets. And and I've been doing some reading, and there's a lot of folks, back in the day that was buried, in a shroud. They kind of wrapped them up,
really,
and put them in a fetal position, and put them in the ground. And they didn't mark the grave, because that's what they called back in the day a pauper's grave. And if you was poor and you didn't have anybody that cared about you or whether the city, county, state, you were dead. They put you in the ground and you didn't get a marked grave. So there may be bodies there that they found 126 coffins, but that don't mean that's all the people that's there. Matter of fact,
so it may not have had coffins.
I saw something that said the cemetery was slated to hold 800 people.
Ooh.
So someone said that
a lot of bones up
they
in there.
could have possibly 483 people buried there that they could find. So the numbers they found 26.
Where's that?
This is at Zion. This is the Robles Park housing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's owned by the Tampa Housing Authority. And those are the people that's there. It's like 1,000 and some people who live in Robles Park Village.
They just made news, didn't they, a week ago about the hauntings or something crazy?
That's what they're talking about.
Woo.
They got 1,118 people who live there. They got 483 units, and it's 67 buildings
Situated on a gravesite.
Yeah. So they say the researchers found the cemetery historian who conceded. Follow-up research said that he has found 747 possible grave sites.
We can send the local churches to the pray through there and exercise the places, but those people need to be moved out.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm tell you, like folks used to say when I was coming up, it ain't the dead that you got to worry about. It's the living that's gonna walk up and hit you in the head and knock you out. It's the living that's gonna make you one of the dead. So, so far I don't know anybody that's been taken by somebody that's dead. So
get all the churches out there praying to those places, and they got to get those people out of there.
That's folks here on Porch Talk Radio would like to thank you for visiting.
God bless you. God bless
visiting
America.
with us today and being a part of our show. And next week we'll see you again. We're gonna do this again, and I guarantee you we're gonna make a difference because what we do here, we provide information, you know, and you get to think about it and come up with your own conclusions. And long as we're doing it the right way, you're gonna remember.
You're gonna think
us
about it.
and,
You're gonna
you
do something.
Gonna keep listening.
Get off the couch.
So until next week, same time, best station, same best station. Bye bye. We love
God bless
you.
America.
Bye bye.